Adar, windows of revelation, confrontation, and opportunity. As we enter the new month of Adar here in Israel, a month historically marked by reversals, decrees, exposure of hidden plots, and sudden shifts, we step into a period that carries implications not only for Israel, but for nations across the earth and even for the spiritual atmosphere over them. Already, throughout the land, the almond trees are blossoming. Their beauty signals more than spring's approach. They are announcing transition. In both the natural and the spirit, we are crossing a threshold. The question before us is not merely what is changing, but how we discern what God is doing within the change. What should we expect? What should we declare? How do we stand as watchmen in a time of global shaking? Scripture shows us that Moses spoke only what YHWH instructed regarding Pharaoh. Ezekiel prophesied only what the word of Yahweh came to him to declare concerning Pharaoh and Egypt, and those words were delivered in this same biblical month. The timing was not incidental, it was precise. Adar has always been a month of confrontation between decrees, earthly decrees of empire and the higher decrees of heaven. This is again such a season. It is our turn to hear clearly and declare what the Lord of hosts is saying for now. Put on the full armor of God. Hold the sword of the Spirit. When the enemy attempts to steal promises from your family, city, or nation, stand firm in identity and authority in Yeshua. What he has spoken, he will fulfill. The watchman tree blossoms. The almond tree, Shaked, blooms before its leaves appear. It watches ahead of the season. Its root shares meaning with shamar, to guard, keep, protect, and watch over. Jeremiah saw the almond branch, and God said, I am watching over my word to perform it. Adar is therefore not only about celebration, Purim, it is about vigilance. Watchmen do not react late. They discern early. The sap rising in the trees is unseen, but real. Likewise, beneath visible headlines, unseen alignments are taking place across economies, governments, alliances, and spiritual strongholds. In recent months and weeks, we have witnessed accelerating geopolitical realignment in the Middle East, economic instability and currency pressure across major regions, intensified technological and surveillance expansion globally, mounting tensions around energy, trade routes, and strategic corridors, and a continued ideological struggle over the identity and legitimacy of Israel. These are not isolated developments. They are systemic shifts. Like the almond tree, the watchman sees before others recognize the season. This month calls the body to ascend to heavenly places in perspective, to seek heaven's vantage point rather than reacting only to earthly narratives. Are we discerning from the throne room or only interpreting headlines? The king's decree and the reversal pattern of Adar. Adar carries a consistent biblical pattern. Hidden plots are exposed and reversed. In this month, Haman's decree to destroy the Jewish people was overturned. The Second Temple was completed and dedicated. Opposition to rebuilding was overruled by royal decree. Adar is a month when the king's archives are searched and previous decrees are rediscovered and enforced. When heaven issues a decree, opposition must yield. Today, we again see competing decrees. Decrees of fear, decrees of economic pressure, decrees of intimidation, decrees of isolation against Israel, and decrees against biblical truth globally. But heaven's decrees stand above them. The body of Yeshua is not called merely to observe events. We are called to steward decrees. That means declaring what heaven has spoken, aligning actions with that word, and persevering until fulfillment manifests. Just as builders in Ezra's day completed the temple under pressure, the present body must continue building spiritual and practical structures despite opposition. Judgment of pride and systems of control. In Adar, Ezekiel received a word against Pharaoh and Egypt, a symbol of pride, control, and oppressive systems. Pharaoh compared himself to a lion, yet was exposed and brought low. Scripture also describes Leviathan, the king of pride, whom God judges. This month often brings exposure of systems built on arrogance and control. Historically, economic bubbles, political overreach, and ideological strongholds have often shown fractures in this season. Globally, we are observing strain on centralized financial systems, increasing public distrust of institutions, realignment of alliances, and challenges to established power structures. While the details vary by region, the underlying theme is consistent. Systems rooted in pride are being shaken. The body must avoid reacting in fear or triumphalism. Instead, we respond with discernment, humility, and readiness. We do not celebrate collapse. We prepare for transition. Nations, conflict, and alignment. The Middle East remains a central focus. Developments involving Iran, regional proxies, and global powers continue to shape the strategic landscape. These tensions ripple outward into global markets, security frameworks, and alliances. Yet Scripture reminds us, God removes kings and establishes kings. He changes times and seasons. Our role is not to place ultimate trust in any nation or military power, but to understand the prophetic timing and intercede accordingly. The body should be praying for stability and righteous leadership, interceding for protection over Israel and surrounding nations, and discerning how shifts may affect the global body. Adar historically precedes Nisan, the month of deliverance and new beginnings. Therefore, upheaval in Adar often precedes breakthrough. Practical steps for the body in Adar. This month is not only about awareness, but response. 1. Strengthen watchfulness. Set time to seek clarity from the Lord. Ask, what is being reversed? What decrees need to be declared? 2. Align with heaven's decrees. Speak scripture and promises over your household, community, and sphere of influence. Reaffirm identity and authority in Yeshua. 3. Stabilize your foundations. In times of global shaking, reduce unnecessary exposure to instability. Strengthen relationships and community. Steward resources wisely. Avoid impulsive decisions driven by fear. 4. Guard against distraction. Adar often brings noise and spectacle. The enemy seeks attention and reaction. Stay focused on your assignment. 5. Prepare for Nisan. Adar is a preparation month. Use it to resolve unfinished matters, reconcile relationships, clarify direction, and prepare for new assignments. 6. Walk in humility and authority. Avoid both pride and false humility. Some are called to lead visibly, others to intercede quietly. Both are essential. Conclusion: a month of alignment. Whether we stand in visible leadership or quiet obedience, we are called as watchmen and stewards in this hour. Adar is a month of exposure, reversal, decree, and preparation.